first step in any manual lymphatic drainage practice is going to be opening the terminus. Let's find out why. Out of the 600 to 800 lymphatic nodes, over 1/3 of them live within your neck region. Should you also know that your entire lymphatic system ends its journey in the terminal area, the area right underneath your clavicle, that little hollow, right? This is referred to as the terminus within or terminology or lymphatic terminology. Okay, this is our main bathtub drain right through here. And did you know you can directly influence your entire lymphatic system just by addressing this area? That's why this area is so important. A little bit about me. I'm Kristen. Hi, if we haven't met before. I am a longtime massage therapist as well as a certified lymphedema therapist as well. I've been working with lymphatic health for over 2 decades, and I have seen the technique of manual lymphatic therapies change people's lives. I use it in my own practice. I use it with my clients. We get amazing results. And I'm a firm believer that we all should know the basics of how this amazing therapy works because we should all have access to it. And a little bit of knowledge about this goes a long way. So, what is our lymphatic system? It's a huge buzzword right now. It's everywhere because it's finally getting the attention it deserves, right? Our lymphatic system is actually a collection of organs, tissues, all this anatomy working within our body to maintain fluid balance within the body, to power your immune system, and to transport dietary fats. Understand exactly how our lymphatic system works, we do need to take a little peek at our circulatory system because these two work hand in hand. Our circulatory system transports blood all around our bodies for exchange purposes. It gives nutrients and gas to the cells that need it, and in return takes away any cellular debris that doesn't need to be there. So then in a day, about 20 liters of blood is going around the body, but only 17 of those liters get returned back to the heart for another journey through your body. So what happens to those missing 3 liters? Well, this exchange that we talked about happens in something called capillary beds. These little tiny vessels where the exchange happens, and sometimes some of that blood plasma leaks out into the surrounding tissues. Once it does that, it's called interstitial fluid, the space between cells. So now you have this fluid hanging out in this interstitial space, this in between cellular space, and it's the lymphatic system's job to pull that fluid out of the tissues to get it to where it needs to be. If that fluid continued to accumulate in the tissues, we would blow up like a balloon. Or we'd have lymphatic pathologies such as lymphedema, where it's going to affect our tissues, and you're going to see that swelling within the tissues. Right, so you can think of your circulatory system like the clumsy waitstaff that's running around this busy restaurant delivering food to people. And as they're running around, there's food flying off the trays and things falling off onto the floor. And think about the lymphatic system as the busboy, the person who's running behind this waitstaff to help collect all this stuff that's falling off to help keep that restaurant clean, to return it back to the kitchen to get it to where it needs to go, right? So think about cleaning the body, picking up after the circulatory system to make sure that there's nothing left behind. Once this interstitial fluid or between the cellular space fluid is picked up by your lymphatic system, which is its primary job, it now becomes lymph, right? There's these little finger-like projections that hang out in all your tissues, looking for that interstitial fluid to suck it up into the lymphatic system, right? Again, once it's into the lymphatic system, then it becomes lymph. This lymph travels along these pathways, which grow bigger and bigger, almost like you're driving from a dirt road onto main highways. It's going to continue to travel to its end destination, which is your terminus, this area right above your clavicles, because all of your lymphatic fluid is going to return to your blood circulatory system via the subclavian vein, which is found right underneath the clavicle on both sides bilaterally. Lymph has a natural movement, right? It moves when we move with skeletal muscle contraction and joint movement and breathing and arterial pulsation. It has a natural movement around 7 times contraction per minute, right? Breathing, that diaphragm moving up and down creates a nice internal pressure for us, arterial pulsation, and of course, manual lymphatic drainage has been shown to have a direct effect on lymphangiomotoricity, the fancy word of movement of lymph, right? Unfortunately, nowadays with our sedentary lifestyle, sometimes we're not getting that skeletal muscle contraction that we need. We're not getting the motion that our body needs to help to move this lymph along. We also have lymphatic pathologies such as primary and secondary lymphedema, lipedema, right? So we have these pathologies that tend to slow down the fluid movement of lymph, resulting in swelling or edema within the tissues. Manual lymphatic drainage has been shown via research to improve lymphatic movement. There's these cool little fibers that hang out on those initial lymphatic collectors or right under the skin. That when we give that skin a nice gentle stretch, we're helping to open up those collectors to bring that pressurized fluid into the lymphatic system. Right? So, this gentle skin stretch that we're looking for has a direct effect on the initial lymphatic collectors to help increase lymph absorption. And again, it all goes to your terminus. Think about it, your bathtub drain. You can't allow a full bathtub full of water to go anywhere if the bathtub drain is clogged and not moving. You have to open up that pipe to allow the fluid movement to get through. So open up your terminus. And now you have a direct effect on your entire lymphatic system because the opening now has clearance. It can now allow that fluid to travel easier to its destination. Again, all of this fluid that's moving through your lymphatic pathways, through your lymph nodes, through all those collectors, is going to eventually wind up back in your bloodstream as plasma to again make that journey through the circulatory system, make its way through the capillary beds, leave some of the fluid in between in that interstitial fluid for the lymph system to come back through and pick it back up again. So we're going to go through our recipe to show you exactly what it looks like to open up the neck or to address the terminus. You're going to be looking at 3 different positions: profundus, medius, and terminus. And this is what it's going to look like. This video is a great first start on your lymphatic journey. When you're ready to take a deeper dive, come meet me over at kristensloanmassage.com and take a deeper dive with the self-manual lymphatic drainage for neck and face class, where you will learn even more about this amazing system and how you can empower yourself to wellness.